So Deontay Wilder has had his say on Dillian Whyte and him being made mandatory over the last few days. Now, this comes after Dillian Whyte beat Oscar Rivas over the weekend in a decent fight. He got made WBC mandatory challenger, which, in my opinion, is long overdue. It's definitely long overdue. But that being said, this mandatory is probably not going to get called for a while yet. It'll probably be some stage, kind of middle of next year, maybe even late next year, before Whyte actually gets a shot. And Deontay Wilder has basically come out and, he's taken a little dig at Dillian Whyte. And he said, Dillian Whyte, this is what Deontay Wilder says. Dillian Whyte, I'm happy he's finally the mandatory. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be like Brazil all over again. When it's time for the fight to come, he's going to be in the fight of his life. I'm going to knock him out silly. That's the way he pronounced it. Okay, so that's what Deontay Wilder had to say about Dillian Whyte. Promising to knock Dillian Whyte out silly, and that he can't wait for this fight. It's going to be like Brazil all over again. Now, do I think this fight will be like Brazil all over again? So I want to address a few of the things here. No, I think it'll be more competitive than Brazil. But that being said, I don't expect Dillian Whyte to win, and it'll be more competitive in my opinion, but I can still see it ending reasonably early, and I can see Deontay Wilder knocking Dillian Whyte spark out. People always say that Deontay Wilder, he's been avoiding Dillian Whyte. And in one sense, I have to agree. But in another sense, I do think that it is a bit over-exaggerated, the whole avoiding Dillian Whyte. Because if we look back to 2017, when the whole kind of issues with Wilder avoiding Dillian Whyte came out, that was going into his fight with Stavern, the rematch. Now, we all know that was a mismatch in hindsight. But let's not forget, I know he was a poor mandatory, but Bermain Stavern, he was still the mandatory. At the time, Eddie Hearn was saying, we offered Deontay Wilder this much money to fight Dillian Whyte, he turned it down. Look, we don't know what the WBC said. Don King still promotes Bermain Stavern. He obviously still has some sway with the WBC. I genuinely think it was a case of Deontay Wilder having no choice but to fight Stavern. I think if it was up to him, he probably would have fought Dillian Whyte back then. But we don't know what the WBC said. He'd never fought a mandatory at the time. I think I gave him a pass on that one. Definitely. I gave him a pass in 2017 because I just thought to myself, well, it's a mandatory. You don't know what the WBC have said. And it's a good way for Eddie Hearn to kind of, get one up on Wilder and say, you ducked Dillian Whyte, you didn't want 7 million. But not throwing in the fact that it was a mandatory. And he kind of had to fight him. So I always give him a benefit of the doubt and a pass on that one. Subsequently, we've heard Dillian Whyte call out Deontay Wilder, especially after his win against Lucas Brown. We haven't heard much from Deontay Wilder. He chose to, go and fight Ortiz, then to fight Tyson Fury. Obviously, his rematch with Brazil. So, it's kind of been up in the air. We've also heard Dillian Whyte say that Deontay Wilder has told him that he's going to make him wait 2 years for his title shot. To be honest with you, as I've said before, I don't think that I think it's a case of Deontay Wilder not liking Dillian Whyte and maybe just kind of wanting to make him jump through hoops. Because I don't think Deontay Wilder is scared of Dillian Whyte at all. Dillian Whyte is a good left hook, but he's so slow. Like, he's not as slow as Dominic Brazil, but he is very slow-footed. He's very open. He's got a very leaky defence. And I think that Deontay Wilder would light him up. Simple as. I just think that I don't see how Dillian Whyte, even if he roughs Deontay Wilder up, Deontay Wilder has a lot more power and he's a lot more naturally aggressive than a Joseph Parker. So I don't even see how that would work for Dillian Whyte. And even if Dillian Whyte did try rough Deontay Wilder up, he's going to have to find a way through Deontay Wilder's reach. And Deontay Wilder, let's not face facts, he's lethal from long range. He's a much bigger guy than Joseph Parker. He's much longer reach and he hits a lot harder. So I don't think Dillian Whyte trying to, manhandle Wilder would actually go down too well for Dillian Whyte. So with Dillian Whyte, Deontay Wilder, I do feel as though if and when this fight happens, Deontay Wilder will win. Would I give Dillian Whyte a shot? Yeah. I mean, if he caught Deontay Wilder with the left hook he caught, Derek Chisora with, then definitely. But I think Wilder would be very smart to that left hook. And I don't think Deontay Wilder would get tagged with it, personally. Now, I could be wrong. But, no, in one sense, I'm glad Dillian Whyte's finally been made mandatory because I think it's long overdue. He's been, number one contender in the WBC for, 2 years now? Maybe more? And, never getting a title shot. As I said in my post-fight video, he was offered the Anthony Joshua fight back in April in Wembley Stadium. Didn't take that fight. So when people say he's never had a title shot, well, he could have had a title shot, he turned it down. So I don't I'm not in that boat of saying, how has he never had a title shot? He was offered a shot, turned it down against AJ. Didn't want it. Wanted a WBC shot. Fair enough. But don't go out and say, oh, he's never had a title shot. It's disgraceful. He was offered it. He didn't want it back then against Joshua. So, yeah, my thoughts on Deontay Wilder are saying that Dillian Whyte's going to be the fight of his life. I think that it will be the fight of Dillian Whyte's life. I think it'd be a tough fight for Dillian Whyte. Very tough fight. A fight that I wouldn't expect him to win. But I'd still look forward to it. I'd still look forward to the build-up to the fight. I'd look forward to seeing what would happen in the fight. But at the end of the day, I really do see it as a Deontay Wilder win. That being said, who will be champion come next year? Because let's assume Deontay Wilder just drags this out and he does face Tyson Fury in a rematch. I'm going to say it now. If Wilder faces Fury in a rematch, I'm picking Fury. And would I pick Fury to beat Dillian Whyte? Yeah, definitely. So it might not be necessarily Wilder who actually faces Dillian Whyte in the long run. But would I pick Dillian Whyte against either Fury or Wilder? No. Straight up, no, I wouldn't pick him against either guy. Dillian Whyte's a good fighter. But I think against someone like a Wilder or a Fury, I think the holes in his game will be definitely exposed against them guys. Definitely. So those are my thoughts on this. As I said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will talk to you after. Oh yeah, actually, before I go, let me know what you think. Who do you think will win the Deontay Wilder fight if he does fight? If it's Wilder versus Whyte, who do you think will win? Let me know down below who you think will win that fight. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So, again, try this again. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, and I will talk to you after.